starting our Teacher Voices series, and we're starting it with Dr. Jewette, who is a teacher at Deep Creek High School. And we're just going to sort of check in. That's what the Teacher Voices is all about, to check in to see how she's doing, see how things are going with her family. And then I'm sure she has good advice for some parents. Dr. Jewette, thanks for taking your time to be with us today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Good. So tell me, how are you and your family managing in this new normal?
We're doing well. There are only 3 of us in the house right now. There's usually 7, but we're doing well. Everybody has their roles and getting things done that they need to get done. We have our own spaces, and so that helps. But we're all doing well. Nobody's sick. Everybody's healthy, so we're all doing well.
Oh, I'll be thankful for that. Now tell me about what subject do you teach at Deep Creek, and how are you teaching now? I mean, how are you managing your classes?
I teach Virginia Teachers for Tomorrow, and I also teach the dual enrollment portion of that. And I teach fashion marketing, and I teach freshman seminar. And what's really interesting is that we're doing Google Classroom, but my students had kind of pushed me towards Google Classroom at the beginning of the semester, that they were familiar with it and they wanted to make sure that they continued with that. And I found that it was very easy to navigate, and that it kind of kept me accountable. It really did. And that if something that I was missing, that the students would say, Dr. Jewette, you don't have this in the Google Classroom. I need you to put this in the classroom. So they were keeping me on my toes.
Right. So you had already started using that platform.
Yes.
So I
yes.
mean, that had to be helpful for your students. Yeah. How often do you now? So, gosh, you teach a lot of different stuff. How are you juggling all that?
I have to have some good time management skills, I guess. I have a folder or a notebook for each one of the classes. And I have my little calendar out. And so I'm just writing down everything that I need to do and just checking off and having a to-do list. So it's just the things that we would probably normally do in the classroom. My kitchen table has become my desk. So, and I needed more space.
So now, teaching freshman seminar, I mean, those students are making the adjustment into high school, and now they're having to adjust this whole new way of doing things at the same time. How are they responding to that?
Yes, they are doing quite well. Some of them I had to prod along a little bit. It's just trying to get them to understand accountability, and also getting them to understand they know technology, they know social media, but getting them to translate that skill or transfer that skill to the classroom, and especially with the computers, internet, with assignments, it's just getting them to do that. But again, they were kind of used to it because of us being in the classroom and using Google Classroom. And so they're familiar with it. It is just getting them into the habit of making sure that they're checking their emails and those types of things all the time.
So what have been some particular challenges or maybe some surprises of teaching this way that you found? And then what are some positive things that have come out of it for you and your students?
I think the challenges for me is not being able to actually physically see them and to touch them and to just be with them. That's been a big challenge. And also just making sure that they're getting things done, getting those assignments in, touching base with them. I think that I'm being the mother hen, kind of hovering over them, making sure that they get everything in. I think that's the biggest challenge. The challenge isn't for us, for me particularly, in creating the lessons. But also I want to make sure that when I do create the lessons, that I'm trying to reach the different learning styles, that I have to put something up there that they can hear, or something kinesthetically that they can create, or they're seeing things all the time, but I want to make sure that I'm touching all of those different learning styles, because just like in the regular classroom, you want to continue to do those things. The positives, I think, for me that has come from this is the ability to get some more professional development done. All of the information that's being sent to us, things that we probably never would have gotten around to doing, that now we get a chance to do those things and to utilize them. So I think that's the biggest positive for me, is embracing technology more than I had embraced it.
Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you published a book, right, for parents called, it was about launching 5-star kids. That's the subtitle.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the book, and then what might be in that book that parents could use now while their students, they're getting all this quality time.
Definitely. The book is entitled No Ordinary Brand, A Mother's Guide to Launching 5-Star Children. And it came from raising 5 children. And with those things that my husband and I had learned about how to help them to be successful and navigate the waters once they became adults, I put into the book. There are different suggestions and strategies that parents can use. Some of the things that I think that right now that would be beneficial to parents is, and each title or chapter has to do with branding your children in a certain type of way. And so branding them to serve, that this is definitely an opportunity for the family to come together and serve, whether it is just sending cards to nursing homes or putting notes for the postal carrier in the mailbox, but definitely teaching them service. I think teaching them responsibility, because parents are at home, whether it's one parent or 2 parents, there's, I'm sure, a lot that's going on within the house, and being able to teach them to have responsibilities and what is expected of the family. Teaching them and embracing this child's individuality, especially if there are more than one child in the house, that knowing their individuality preferences and using those. There's a lot of great things that parents can do right now with that quality time that they have with their children, and just making sure that the children feel loved, that they're cared for, and that they see that they value, and that coming together as a unit. I know that a lot of times parents have it, they're off working and the kids are off doing their activities, and so that family time around the table is very important. Cooking meals together, just a lot of different things that they can do to create a great family atmosphere.
Wow, that's great advice for parents. Do you have any advice for students as they try to manage this time?
So one of the things that I want to tell my students, and we have what we call table talk in classroom. And so one of the things that I tell my students is that be patient with your parents, because just as a parent, you're trying to navigate yourself through these waters, but not only normally, but even now it's a little bit different. So I'm asking our students to please be patient with your parents, that this is new for them also. Share with your parents your feelings. And I think we all need a space within our space for timeout, that when we need, that sometimes we kind of just get together too much and maybe we need to separate a little bit, that we recognize and realize that we all need a timeout space, and to allow your parents to have that timeout and for you to have that timeout. But communication is very important. One of the things that I was thinking about is that with our 5 C's for Chesapeake, man, this is a great opportunity for 5 C's to be created and implemented within the home. And so if our students can talk to their parents about the 5 C's, so that would be wonderful also.
Right. Some staff development, so to speak, or professional development for parents.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Right. All right. Wow, that's very good. That's very good information. Well, I tell you what, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I appreciate you taking your time, and maybe we'll get a chance to check in with you again some other time. But thank you very much, and good luck. Stay healthy.
Thank you, and you do the same. Bye-bye.